Alright guys, welcome to the latest tutorial video for Discord. There was a pretty big update the other day, and in doing that, they have now changed some of the commands. We now have raid channels for eggs and specific commands for those. So I'm going to walk you through that stuff today. For raid eggs, level 1 through 4, all of the commands are going to be the same, so we'll start there and we'll move to a level 5 in just a little bit. So, when you've spotted a raid egg or Gem Hunter picks one up and you want to create a channel for it, you use the command raid egg. You type in the level 1 through 5. We're just going to go 4 here. And you type in the location as normal. Say it's at St. Peter's Church. And once you do that, it's going to create the raid channel. Now here's where some of the commands will start to change. When it's an egg, you can list yourself as interested, and if you have multiple accounts, you put however many accounts are interested or with you, and that will put you on the interested list. You do a timer set for however long the egg lasts. We're gonna do 1 minute here just for the sake of not having a freaking 2-hour long video. Again, the location command still exists to tell you where it is. The location new command still exists to update the location. The timer command still exists to show you how long until the egg hatches. Now, right here where it says raid Pokemon, you will use this command once the egg has hatched. Meowth will send a message that says, "Hey, the egg's hatched," and you will open the raid by giving it a command, which is raid and whatever the Pokemon happens to be. We're just gonna go for Tyranitar. So we'll leave that there. The last command here is for level 5 only, so I'll show you that in just a few minutes. As you can see, when the raid egg expires, there will be a 15-minute window to update it to an open raid, or we'll just delete the channel for you. When you do a raid egg, it will give you a list of the possible bosses and their types. So this egg should be hatching any minute. Alright, so there we go. The egg hatched. The timer's expired. So we're going to tell it that it's a Tyranitar raid. That will now open the raid. And we can set a new timer for however long the raid is open, which normally will be 59 minutes. If you've just watched the egg hatch, that's another thing that's changed. Time used to be set up hours, semicolon, minutes. Now you just put in the minutes from 0 to 59. So we're going to timer set 2. It'll tell you the raid will end here. Now we have some more commands. You can still use interested. On a raid channel, this has taken place of the maybe command. Coming is still the same, here is still the same, and cancel is still the same. But now, to get the different lists, the easiest one is just going to be the list command, and it will tell you everybody that's interested coming in here. So we're going to go ahead and say we're coming with 2, and we will list this raid, and there you go, there's 2 on the way. Nobody's at the raid, nobody's interested yet. And then once the raid starts, you simply use the starting command to wipe the waiting list clean. I'm sorry, someone actually has to say they're here. So we'll say we're here. Now we can say we're starting, and it will clear the waiting list. And if you're still waiting for another group, you can still respond here. Once the raid is finished, the channel will auto delete, so you don't have to worry about that. Now that's for 1 through 4. 5 is going to work a little bit differently, and I'll show you here. So it's still raid egg 5, and we'll just put in a location, doesn't really matter. But the cool thing about the 5, since we know what they are, we can give it a timer set command for 2 minutes, and we're going to tell it that we assume the raid is going to be Raikou. Now what this is going to do, when the egg hatches, it will automatically open up into a Raikou raid. So you don't have to tell it that it's going to be a Raikou. It's automatically going to open to that. You will need to set a new timer, just like with the other channel, and then the rest of the raids, raid commands rather, will work just the same. Here you go. You can see the timer is expired, so the channel has been deactivated and will delete in 5 minutes. If you get this and it was just a mistake in time, you can reset the time, and that will open the channel back up for however long you choose to set the timer for. A couple of new commands we've gone ahead and added is the wild command, or it's actually the, I'm sorry, we'll start with the want unwant. So in the want unwant channel, if you're looking for a particular Pokemon, you give it the command want and type in the Pokemon's name, and it will say you want it. Now, according to the bot hosts, whenever one of these Pokemon is reported, whether it's a wild report or a raid, you should receive a notification that this Pokemon has been spotted. I haven't gotten that to work with just me, but I don't know if it will work since I'm the one who's saying I want it and I'm the one who's claiming to spot it. But you can still use the want command for now, and hopefully that'll work down the line. When you do see a wild Pokemon, now obviously you don't want to do this with Rattata, but say you see a Snorlax somewhere, you can report a wild Snorlax is at Tom Finley Park, and that will let everybody know that once the Snorlax, or who just happens to be following this channel, hey, there's a Snorlax, here's a rough estimate of where it's located, and you can go from there. Alright, we've had enough time. As you can see, the channel auto updated. It went from level 5 egg to Raikou right here in the name of the channel. And now that it's changed, you just go in, set your timer, do everything else, and it's good to go. Also on the want channel, say you finally got the Lapras you were looking for, you can unwant the Lapras, and once you see this little check mark here, you will know that the Meowth bot has responded and you are no longer looking for Lapras. That about covers the update for now. We'll keep an eye on it and make sure nothing changes, but if it does, we'll be sure to let you guys know. Until next time, see you later.